Well, let's talk about your time there. All the differences that we've broken down so far with fan questions. You mentioned a minute ago that you showed up to your first TV and sort of laid out what that scene was like. I've got your entire schedule, which is pretty crazy, in front of me. You really were all over the place. Fort Wayne, Indiana was filmed on October 5th, 1988. It aired on October 22nd. Your first match in the company is you guys teaming up, of course, with Bobby Heenan in your corner to defeat Tommy Angel and Bob Emery in 2 minutes and 31 seconds. Prior to the bout, Heenan introduced you both as the newest members of the Heenan family, and you're billed here as the Brainbusters. Boy, you're off to a hell of a start. You got a cool name, and they didn't change your look. You're not in silly costumes. They didn't put a bird on your shoulder or a snake in your bag. So that's all looking pretty good. And then you get Bobby Heenan. We're clicking on all cylinders so far.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one thing I'll never say is we weren't used properly, and we weren't given a goofy gimmick or goofy costuming. Other than being able to do this, which would have blew the roof off the house. I'm sorry. A lot of fans watch both shows.
Right.
So it's not like they didn't know what we were doing, but they were doing this for like 3 weeks or a month. But when we didn't give it back to them, they gave up. Because every time for the past 3 years, they had done this, we did this back to them, or that one. But to just ignore it, they just, after a while, they just went, shit, they're not giving it back to us. So piss on it, we'll stop doing it.
Luke wants to know, prior to your coming in here, had you ever even met Bobby Heenan?
No, but what a wonderful experience I had after I met him. We've talked about this, Conrad. He's the most quick-witted, funny, hilarious guy you will ever meet. It doesn't matter. You can walk up to Bobby, having not seen him for 2 weeks, and just walk up and just grab your belt buckle and turn it up and go, Bobby, what do you think of this belt buckle? And before you could get buckle out of your mouth, he had a jab at you. That's something funny. And, he was so quick. It amazed me how quick the guy was. Brilliant, I would say.
Here's one about the Heenan family. David says, during your first year with the WWF, if you time traveled to today to bring back one wrestler to join the Heenan family, who would it be and why? So the gist is, who in today's wrestling world would have been a good fit with the Heenan family back in 88, 89?
In today's group of talent?
Yes, sir. Wow. Just because of the hodgepodge of different personalities and everybody being different. How about John Moxley? Oh, I could see that. That'd be fun.
He could be the lunatic, which is what he is anyway.
Works for me. Josh White wants to know, is there anybody who showed hostility towards you or Tully when you first were coming in? I'm assuming with you guys being such a hot team from a rival company, you may have had some issues.
Not to our face, and here's what may have helped us. Just to be perfectly honest with you. I never had a beef with just a handful of guys the entire time I've been in the business. And at that time, I had no beefs with anybody working there. But Tully and I pull up to Fort Wayne, Indiana, I believe it was, our first television taping, and get our bags out of the trunk. We're walking in the back door, and we see this commotion. And at that moment in time that we came through the back door was when the Rougeaus had their deal with the Bulldogs, the sucker punch. Jacques hit him with a roll of quarters, I think, knocked some of Bulldog's teeth out, and the shit hit the fan. I mean, it was like a movie. We walk in the back door, shit starts blowing up. Had nothing to do with us, obviously, but I guess there had been some ribbing going on in the locker room and some stuff that wasn't, had really built to a crescendo, and it blew up this day at TV. And I guess there was a big talent meeting right away, and any more ribbing or any more anything, and guys are going to lose their job. It got serious. So if anybody was planning anything for us, it probably got the kibosh along with everything else that day.
Let's do a question here from Jason. He says, who came up with the entrance? I have no recollection of him or Tully ever jogging to the ring in the NWA. I don't think you did that every time in the WWF, but I did see it a few times. Is that more of a production element where you just need the timing of the show? And if there's not music or whatever, maybe that makes sense. Or was there more to it than that?
I don't remember, but if I was guessing, we probably didn't have much time.
Right.
And that was a way to gain a minute and a half,
yeah.
You know, and in a minute and a half, that's a lot of TV time. If you make it pay off for you. That's the first thing comes to mind. I don't think anyone would have told us, you know, get on down there or hey, let's try this, let's jog to the ring. Because if you flip the coin, the Rockers always ran to the ring.
Right.
So it wouldn't have been, okay, you know, I just don't think it was planned. I think it was more that we didn't have much time. Let's get down there and make it pay some dividends.
Talk about the WWF, man. I'm pretty excited to talk about this. We just talked a lot with Tully Blanchard about how it all came together and why you left. I want to sort of fill in the middle, but usually what we do on this show every other week is we throw the keys to the show to our listeners. And I want to start with that. Instead of finishing with fan questions, let's start with fan questions. And we've got a ton. There's no way we'll get to all of them, but let's jump in here. Big Extra has a question that everybody wants to know. Why did the Brainbusters never have an entrance theme?
Well, wow. You know, we never had music up until we went to the ring with Rick and they played his music. We never had a set of entrance music. So it was another day at the office. However, on their show, where most of the talent that were going to be featured did have music, correct? Didn't they at that time?
Yeah, almost everybody. I think the only other talent who didn't have music in the WWF at the time was Andre the Giant. So for you to not have entrance music was definitely different.
Yeah, and with a show that was so high on production values and making it a big deal and feeling like, oh, this is a huge thing, pyro blowing up, music, you know, that's one way you can look at it. And you can look at it if the announcers would have told the story, which I don't think they did, is it's different. And if Andre was the only other one that didn't have music, that puts us in an exclusive group and it makes it different. And it's like we're all business from the minute you come through the curtain to the minute you go back through the curtain. That could have been easily sold by the announcers. Pretty sure they didn't go that route. They just, you know, we weren't one of their creations, and you know how that goes.
You did a Superstars taping where you guys picked up a win in 2 minutes and 15 seconds over David Isley and Rusty Riddle. Blanchard gets the win here with a slingshot suplex. Was it ever discussed, you guys using different style or different finishing maneuvers at all? Or just, hey, do your thing?
We already had them over. Why switch?
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.